let's move on to, like I was just talking about, the billion-dollar athlete, billion-dollar Bron. Topic number 6, the first professional athlete to be valued at $1 billion or over in his career. And man, that's amazing. Like when you got the likes of Jordan and some other athletes, this is a heck of a title for King James.
Yeah, I believe he's the first athlete to be a billionaire while still active in his particular sport. I think that's the full detail there, because Jordan, like you mentioned, has been, a billionaire for a while now. Tiger Woods, I believe, is a billionaire. Some of the soccer players, Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, I think are billionaires. I'm not 100% sure. But because of, what they do is they take the salary and they take any kind of endorsements, because that's all related to your to your profession and your particular sport. So, and then the next closest player in the NBA to what LeBron's earnings are is Kevin Durant at $580 million. So he's pretty far off from LeBron at that point. Next up after Durant is Steph Curry, who's at $430 million. So, we're talking about, hundreds of millions of dollars to $1 billion. So good for these guys. We're all jealous, but we're not, they've earned it.
Subscribe.
So, yeah, exactly. Guys, we love you. Subscribe to our show. But yeah, we've kind of always known that LeBron, on top of being, I think, the second greatest player ever in the history of the NBA, is always built a good brand. He's building a brand to be this type of player, but also, celebrity and international icon across the country, across the globe. And that's what he's doing, and that's why he's gotten to this point. I heard Space Jam 2 is not very good, but he made a movie that's probably going to make a lot of money. So there you go. So good for him. It's not his fault that the movie's not good. So, he's been doing this for a long time. We've seen other players doing it too. But LeBron, as we said a lot on this show, he was kind of the first athlete where from, middle school to early high school all the way through has been in the spotlight. He's always been in the spotlight for 25 years probably. And he's just one of those guys that has been able to excel despite being under that microscope. And I don't know if there's ever been, we saw even Tiger Woods, who was naturally and the most talented golfer ever to hit the PGA Tour. He worked the hardest. He was probably the strongest, but it broke him at one point. The fame kind of broke him in a different way, but it kind of broke him a little bit. We haven't seen that from LeBron, and I think that's why he's at this point now, where his career, he's a billionaire. He's gonna be an NBA owner, when he retires. I just think that's definitely gonna happen. He's gonna kind of follow MJ, but also he's mentioned that he wants to do that once he retires. We don't know when that's gonna be. Probably at least not in the 3 or 4 years for LeBron. The guy's a machine, but it's not a shocker that he's a billionaire, and I think he's just been so successful on and off the court that this was bound to happen.
I agree, bound to happen with the way that he markets himself, and I believe his off-court career earnings are like 700 million, right? Something crazy like that. His on-court earnings are just in the 300 to 400 million. So it's off the court. This guy is marketing himself in the right way and just drawing a ton of attention like he always has. Like you said, since he was probably in middle school, he's been drawing the eyes and attention of everybody here in America and even worldwide, because basketball is growing so much. And that's why you're seeing a lot of these Olympic teams playing so well, because of the growth of basketball internationally. And you got guys like Michael Jordan and LeBron James and Kobe Bryant to thank for that. So it's like, yeah, I think he should be thanking those other two guys, honestly, for his money, because I think Kobe Bryant and Jordan helped him get to this point with all their fame and their building blocks that they set up for LeBron. But LeBron, I think, is the man. And honestly, I wish he was playing on this Olympic team right now, because I said it immediately after that loss to France. Me and my brother were talking, and I was like, this team doesn't have a leader or a dog on it, like a Jordan, like a Magic Johnson or a Bird or a LeBron. They need that on this USA team, and they just don't have it. So I wish billion-dollar Bron decided to get himself another gold medal, but he's chilling at home counting his $1 billion, and I get it. But it's one of those things where he's earned it at this point. And anybody that says he hasn't is just a fool and crazy. You know, and it's one of those things where we talked about it on this show before. If you don't like how much these athletes are currently making, then you shut off the TV. You don't buy hats. You don't buy, you know, tickets to the games, and you become a fan of F1 or motorsports or something else, because it's you're driving up the money, and LeBron's the guy that's going to take advantage of it. And I don't blame him. If I was in that position too, or a position like Steph Curry, I'd be trying to drive up my money and my value too. And we are on this show. Hit the subscribe button, man. We're trying to get to 1 million subs so we can have some LeBron type money. And we'll give you more content as well. But yeah, no, LeBron's earned it at this point. So it's like, yeah, $1 billion Bron is just a great title now to go with King James.
No question. Yeah. And I think if we go back to the players who, you know, helped these players get to this kind of money and this kind of fame, you know, Jordan was the one that really, you know, elevated NBA basketball to this. You know, he was the first like icon, right? And that dream team really made it basketball what it is around the world, you know, this massive global international game. But it was really Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, that rivalry, that West Coast, East Coast thing. They played each other in the national championship game in 1979. And it just, you know, started from there. The NBA was struggling in the 70s. And they had drug problems, and they had, you know, their games were on tape delay. And then these two guys come into the league, Celtics, Lakers, already a rivalry, East Coast, West Coast. You know, you got two guys that were awesome passers. You know, as good as a shooter as Larry Bird was, he was an incredible passer. Magic was known for as one of the greatest passers ever, probably. So you see that these two guys, they grew the NBA and elevated the NBA, and then Jordan took what they elevated and then picked it up and went to the moon with it, obviously. So those are probably the three guys that got the game to this point. And then LeBron's kind of the next one to carry the torch, as a lot of folks have said. I think the biggest thing now is who is the next player to carry that torch. It could be the guy we were just talking about, Luka Doncic. It could be an international player as the next guy. But yeah, LeBron's been, you know, that like I said, that torchbearer for so long now that you just thought he would get to this point. Dame Dollar, could be him, man. Could be him. He's certainly charismatic enough. Weirdly enough, though, he's in his early 30s. He's starting to get a little long in the tooth, but still love Dame Dollar.
I had to throw it out there.
You had to. Good call, man. Folks, if you like this show, you're watching it right now on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. That's Comeback Sports on YouTube. So subscribe to the channel, Comeback Sports, and then all the cut-ups that our awesome producer Ben Kudo puts together after the show, that'll all filter to your YouTube channel. You don't have to go search for it, it's just right there in your subscriptions.